You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast. Welcome back to the Hello Sport Podcast. I'm of unqualified opinion and unwavering bias.
Not bad, not your best.
No, not the best.
Not the best.
Well, I didn't even really get into a tune that you could recognise. That was almost like a brain malfunctioning.
I was prepared to play off the back of you. We often do that.
Yeah.
We have a storied history of
Supporting one another.
song and dance. Less
We're-
dancing, more singing.
We're song and dance men, though.
We are. We're classically trained. Well, not classically
No,
trained. Unclassically trained.
unclassically trained.
But you would be... you could get it wrong sometimes. You could look at us, the way that we move, sing and dance and say, those boys are classically trained. We're not classically trained.
We're unclassically trained.
But we give the illusion of being classically trained. Why? Because we're so goddamn good at it.
Yes.
But not then. That was a slip up. That was a brain malfunction, as Tom put it.
That's all it was. It was a CD skipping.
Maybe you didn't get enough sleep. Maybe you had too many beers yesterday. I don't know. I can't answer that for you. All
No.
I know is it was very, very mediocre from you.
I mean, so you started off giving me a little less criticism. It then turned into very mediocre.
No,
I
because
don't
you
know.
are great, generally. That's what I'm saying.
It could have been a lot better. That we do know.
Yeah,
it
that's
could
what
have
I'm
been a lot better. Now, it wasn't. And what do we do here? You either get stuck in the quagmire of poor performance or you rise from the ashes like a phoenix. Do phoenixes even exist? I'm not sure. But if they do, you rise. We are back. It is a Monday. Early Monday. Real like frost on the grass sort of early, even though it's summer. It's that early. It's Valentine's Day, which I only realised coming in I've forgotten. Haven't said anything to Steph. Didn't mention it. We got up. We farted around for like an hour, and then I left the house.
Well, Valentine's Day fluff is, just what the doctor ordered sometime. Ella and I acknowledged its existence last night. I haven't said anything today.
That's what I mean.
She was sort of asleep.
Steph wasn't.
But it's not like it's her birthday,
Yeah.
I don't think you need to, meet the day with a big happy Valentine's Day. I don't think you need to do that. Not as...
We're not breaking out song and dance men stuff for
No,
Valentine's
well, I
Day.
might later on. I might put a performance on later on in the day, Tom. I've always thought to myself, and I'm happy to hear criticism here, that Valentine's Day, more of something that gets into its work sort of late arvo, early evening.
Okay, I hear you, because it's sort of like if it's your birthday, you want to as soon as you wake up, someone's like,
All day. And then it all day.
Yeah, and probably a couple after as well.
And maybe the day before, it'll be mentioned. Maybe the week before.
And also, though, probably the weekend coming.
Yes.
A birthday, you might be able to squeeze a week out of a birthday, but Valentine's Day, I'm already not into it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm already off the day. So I'm not really you're lucky if I'm doing anything, but I do agree with that maybe later in the day. If I come home with a flower or flowers, I think then I'm good.
You've ticked the box.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to say is, do people wake up and go, Happy Valentine's Day, and
Losers
give
do.
gifts and shit?
Yeah, I bet they do, dude. People
that a
take
thing?
I bet you it is. People take it way too seriously. But I don't think that there's anything in it for us. There's no way of winning Valentine's Day as a man, in that you don't get anything out of it.
Well, you can. I've made a point in the past of saying, if we're doing something, I'm getting something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. This is not a one-way street. This isn't like shower your woman day.
But it is though.
Yeah, but love's two-way, bruh.
I know.
Love's a two-way highway. You know that.
Love
I know that.
goes both ways.
Love goes both ways.
Love's
It's always-
bi, dude.
Love's bi as fuck, dude. Love loves it. And
Love doesn't matter. Doesn't
all
care.
holes,
Yeah. Love says, "Give me all holes."
Yeah, love. Fill me up, says love. So,
Or let me fill you up.
let me fill you up.
Yeah.
Buttercup. That's love for
That's
you.
love.
Love swings both ways. Love is bi. We know that. Now, all I'm saying is, if love's bi, I want something too.
Yes.
Which historically has sort of been the case.
Okay.
Which is good.
I couldn't tell you. Maybe we just don't do. We don't. I know Steph doesn't really care about Valentine's Day, which is nice.
We'll do I think the last couple of years I'll make dinner, or we'll make dinner or something. We'll put a little bit of effort into the dinner that we're having.
Yes.
As opposed to going out for meals. Why, punters and dribblers? I don't want to pay
$45,000.
$300 a head for a 10 course degustation on a Monday when I'm not that into.
Not that into fucking going out anyway.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, and then also you want to talk about the inflation of flour prices. for one day. Like they will.
Flour inflation.
Flour inflation is one of the great heists of all time on Valentine's Day. Oh, here's a rose for $50, and that $50 isn't me being hyperbolic, where it's like, oh, just say like $50 bajillion. Motherfuckers will try to sell you a flower for $50 on Valentine's Day. It's a rose. I'm like, you pieces of shit.
Roses?
You know that I am time poor and I've fucking forgotten and I just need something here. So I'm going to spend $50 on a flower that's going to be dead in half an hour.
Oh, it's not good. Nip into Woolies. That's
Fresh food people.
Fresh food people. That's a tip for young players that are looking to, conserve the wallet. Nip into Woolies. You pick something up for $15, $20. Bang.
Woolies, you say?
Who's best in class?
I haven't noticed
Don't
the
go
Woolies
to a
flowers.
florist.
No, dude.
Look, I like to support small business and support florists. If you've got the coin, go support them.
Yeah.
But if you're fucking a bit light in the park,
Then you go to the fresh food people.
go to the fresh food people. Say Eddie sent you. You get 20% off.
And free shipping. You might
Use the
get
code
none of those
Dribblers
things.
at the fucking
Yeah,
counter.
at the counter. Yeah.
Seriously.
Come on the fucking checkout person and see how that works. They might give you a discount or you might get kicked out.
Either. But you got to, you got to be in it to win it.
Yeah.
As I've always said.
And, the rose. I'm into roses. I like them.
Roses are overrated.
They're
I said.
overrated. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Oh, we're on the same page.
We're fucking dialed in today. I'm feeling like, at least on flowers.
Yes. Which is a good place to start.
It's a great place to start, especially on Valentine's Day.
That's right.
They're
overrated.
Roses overrated.
They're overrated.
You know
and they're
why?
too expensive. They've always been expensive
They
as
have,
well.
but then
Like,
then
I
they
know
go,
the price goes up on Valentine's Day. I'm not an idiot.
you know,
I get it.
yeah.
But best be known that those motherfuckers are always expensive.
Yeah, their basement price is not exactly cheap.
You go get 6 roses, dozen roses. All right.
What, you mortgaging the house?
You're not eating this week, bro.
No.
You're not eating
I
this
hope
week.
you're planning on losing weight.
Get the Megarang out. Megarang long term can't be good for you. Surely.
Short term's still not good for you.
Short term better than long term.
Ask my asshole when I get to the toilet. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus Christ.
As far as flowers go, I'm a sunflower man, if I can be honest with you. I can't smell anything, right? We know this. So you can be as delightfully smelling as you want, and I don't give a fuck.
So you need pomp and
I
pageantry.
need pomp, pageantry, and like, here we go. I'm here. I'm a flower. Notice me. And to me, that's the sunflower.
Well, the sunflower, an intelligent flower. It goes, what's the most visible, most, intense, most persistent body in the sky?
Yeah.
The sun.
The sun.
I'm going to mimic it.
I'm going to model myself off him.
Yeah.
Or her.
Or her.
It.
It's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
We don't know the gender. They are doing pretty well. This is the sun.
This is the sun.
Doing a very good job. It's got longevity.
Yes, they last.
We're looking at about 8 billion-ish, give or take a couple of years. Maybe I'm going to fuck like the sun.
But the sunflower also has longevity for a flower.
It does, exactly. Again, I said it mimics.
Yeah. So I'm always bringing home a sunflower or two for Steffi. We had a big sunflower painting in our dining room that Steph painted.
You did.
And
You
then she
do?
fucking painted over it.
Did she?
Yeah.
That was.
And now it's just like a smooshed out, like there's nothing on it. I'm like,
Why'd she do that? Have you got to the bottom of it?
She just does shit sometimes. You know what I mean? It's her painting. What can I do?
Well, you can't do anything, but you can say, listen, that sunflower you painted, why'd you get rid of it?
She knew that I was a huge fan of that sunflower.
That's why she got rid of it.
That's what you're probably right.
You did something wrong.
She resented me for something, and she's gone fuck him.
Yeah. Well, she probably sat down to paint one day and said to herself, that fucking Tom.
Yeah, we probably had a fight, and then she's put on some like breakup music or something and just smushed all the painting.
Some
And then I put-
Adele.
Yeah.
This is some Susan
Or
Boyle.
JoJo. Get out right now. It's the end of you and me. It's too late. Can't wait for you to be gone.
Cause I know about her.
And I wonder how I bought all the lies. You said that you could treat me right, but you were just a waste of time. Waste of time.
Do you know that song, Dave?
I don't, but I feel like that's a new song. That's not even a...
Cause that ain't you, bro.
okay, no. All right, my bad.
Shout out to JoJo.
Shout out to JoJo.
one of the greats all time.
One of the greats. Pretty sure a bit of a one-hit wonder, but
No, she had 2 songs.
what was the other one?
You would know it. You would 100%
Find
know it.
JoJo's other song, Dave.
All right.
I mean, she's probably got multiple songs because she's
We'll just go to Spotify. It'll be the top 2.
beautiful.
Leave, Get Out.
Yeah, that's the one
Yeah.
we just had.
Baby, It's You.
Sorry, Ed.
Too little, too late.
Too little, too late.
Will you sing the fucking words to it, man?
Put it on, Dave.
Okay, hang on.
I'm sure there's a second one. Could be wrong.
Listen, at this point, if we don't know it, to me, it's a one-hit wonder.
Oh, I think I know this one.
I don't.
Too little, too late. Yeah, you know this one. You know this.
Yeah, okay. I apologise. Yeah. I still don't think it holds a candle to Get Out, but that's fine.
It doesn't,
No, good. I'm glad we're on the same page there.
but
Again,
it's still memorable.
she fucked the thing is that Steph fucked the sunflower painting. That's what we need to take away from that. Eddie, how was your weekend? How was your weekend? Well, we went out to dinner on Friday night.
No, you and I went out.
I was saying this to Steph. I was like, you know what? We spend a lot of time together, you and I. It was nice just to get back to like agenda-free, just you and me and Elza and Steph just getting out there and just having fun.
Yep.
And on those terms alone.
Yep. It was a good night. It was a great night for all. We got pissed, at least I did.
We pounded
Yeah.
margaritas into below. We got through the mantle. That's our first bit. Into the crust.
No,
down
no,
into the core.
I think crust,
mantle, core. We got all the way down to the core with those.
It's hot down there.
Yeah.
You got to be right. You got to be made of the right stuff.
You got to be made of the right stuff to get that many margaritas down into the core of the earth. When we got the bill, we were like, "Ooh, that was okay."
We'll get this one.
Well, it was the girls who wanted to take us out for dinner, which was very nice.
But sometimes you can't turn off being a chivalrous gentleman.
Well, when we were like, you'd almost argue that like, oh, you're taking us out for dinner? Right, well, we're going to have 10 margaritas each. And then the bill came and was like, oh, shit. And I mean, technically, fiance, wife, what's mine is yours, there's. But it was like, just let's.
We had a lot. Well, the mood was set when we went to Bill's first. Shout out to Bill's, worst service all time.
Worst service all time, Bill's Double Bay.
Bill's Double Bay, worst service of all time. Bill, if you're listening, fire your staff, start again.
We were waiting there for
I'm usually a big fan of your work, Bill Granger. I usually am. I experienced you for the first time in Hawaii many years ago. I think you've since left Hawaii, but I enjoyed you then. I enjoyed you in Double Bay. I enjoyed you in Darlinghurst.
Bondi,
rather. Darlinghurst.
Darlinghurst as well.
Double Bay, went there with Elza for a couple. Fucking no one in there. No one in there. 20 minutes to get a drink. You two came. Half an hour, we're drinkless. I'm like, bro, where are these drinks? He goes, oh, you just put them in the fucking shaker. I'm like, too late.
Cancel.
Too late.
We have a reservation to get to, Bill.
While I was sitting there as well, this guy came up from outside and was like, where's our food? And they're like, oh, I don't know, just getting made. He's like, don't bother.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
leaving.
Yeah. It was
When I first arrived,
shit show central.
When I first arrived, I tried to get attention. I'm like waving at people, and they're looking me dead in the eyes and doing nothing about it.
There was no one there.
I'm about to lose. They were all at the back. They were all hiding out the back.
Now listen, I'm prepared, Eddie, as we were on the night, because obviously, you got to try and play devil's advocate, benefit of the doubt stuff. Are they COVID affected with just some like really shit staff? I mean, maybe, but I just don't
If
think.
you can't serve two tables, don't open.
Don't open.
Don't open. 2 tables.
It's also bills. You got like 50 fucking places. I'm sure you can do it.
If you can't handle 2 tables, don't open. That's all I'd say. And
Well, that's an old adage.
It was a little arsey to ask for a tip at the end, but that's...
It was, dude.
That's
they
by the
asked for
by.
a tip. I was like, you motherfuckers. You cheeky bastards.
Yeah,
I'm just going to leave this here for you guys and I'll come back. I'm like,
Yeah. Fill in your tip at...
Yeah.
Leave what you want. Well, I'm not leaving anything.
no, I feel like you owe us money for time wasted.
But we got into our work, Tom. Know that. Know that we got into our work.
Yep.
I enjoyed it.
It led to my next day. So I had to go to a wedding the next day. Shout out to Antonio and Jordan. Congratulations.
Cousin of Steph?
Nephew.
Nephew.
And now niece, I think, if that's how that works.
Don't know.
I have now like a 25-year-old nephew, 33. So just so you know, I'm a fucking real cool uncle.
Does he call you Uncle Tom?
They used to call me Hobo Uncle Tom when I used to live in Redfern because I was like a fucking bong smoking, cardigan wearing,
Hobo
meagerang, bacon eating, shingles having homeless guy basically, except places are polished.
Walked around with a growler.
Walked around with what's a growler?
Aren't those fucking?
Oh, that's it. Yeah,
the
well,
big beard.
I certainly didn't, but I was spending time
You
with
would
people
have.
that
You
did.
would have thought that was
I was
cool at one
certainly
point.
around. I'm going to take my growler to the pub and fill it up and go home. Those people do annoy me. No offense to anyone, but like, we get it.
No
dude.
offense to the growler community, but it's annoying.
But it's annoying. And why? Like, is it an us problem? Maybe, but you guys frustrate me greatly. Just because it's like you take beer too seriously. It's not that serious a situation.
It's not that serious. It's not that serious.
It's a
Drink
really
bloke and shut up.
Drink bloke and fuck off. Now, if you want a bloke growler, I'll allow it only because bloke are friends. But I'm still not happy that you're using a growler. Edward, I woke up with one of the great headaches all time on Saturday.
Yep.
And I felt like it was important for me to share a bit of my experience with everyone because you and I have discussed pain medication in the past. Paracetamol, home brand v Panadol, Rapid v fucking standard. I've got to be honest with everyone, and I think at the time you and I were like, why the fuck would you get Panadol for an extra $12 when you can just get your normal paracetamol? And we're also saying, why would you pay...
Paracetamol is paracetamol. It's
all the same shit.
It's identical.
But I'm saying home brand is just usually called
identical.
paracetamol, right? And the other one's called like Panadol.
It's identical.
Yes, it is. But then why would you get the Rapid when
Which
you
is
like
what threw us.
the Rapid or the fucking thing?
Yes.
Well, Daddy got himself some Panadol Rapid.
Mm.
And I'm not joking. I had the worst headache I've had in since I had COVID. COVID headache was bad, but like that was part of it. This was a self-inflicted hangover headache. It was fucked. I was laying on the couch just trying to give Evie food just so she'd just let me just lay there. Popped 2 of these Panadol Rapid Anti-Action Max, whatever the fuck they're called. I felt $1 million in 15 minutes. And I was like, oh my God. When I was younger, I
never
touch Panadol.
Oh, you don't touch it.
I just don't touch it.
I don't understand people that don't. I don't, and they're like, well, it's not good for you. I'm like, bruh, I'm not fucking having this shit all the time. I probably need to take Panadol for a really bad hangover headache once every 6 weeks, maybe. Like on the weekend, I wake up good to go, bruh. Went and looked at a few houses, had some fucking agalos. Baby, I'm good. I was sweet.
Yeah.
Ella, not good. I was good. She's scared of Panadol as well.
I'm not scared of Panadol. I was just more like, if I don't really need it, I'm not going to have it. Like, I'm not just going to have it,
But like,
self-inflicted.
But that's what I don't understand. If you've either got a headache or you don't.
But I can deal. Maybe it's also.
Why would you deal with it? Why would you bother?
Maybe it's also early 20s where I just didn't really care. But I can't.
Being in pain?
Yeah, I don't know.
What am I missing?
Look, I hear you. Like, there's logic to your queries here.
There is logic to my queries.
All I'm saying is, Eddie, I am now a Panadol convert because I had it. And then after about 4 hours, it started to wear off and the headache started to come back.
Came back?
Yeah, dude. It was
Really?
It was a bad headache.
Had you eaten?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Well, that's why. Tip for young players. You got to eat.
Yeah, I know. I try and do my fasting.
If you don't eat, you will fall off a cliff.
Okay, it's because I try and fast before midday.
Yeah, but mate, not after a big night on the muggies. What are you doing to
I
yourself?
know that, but the thing is for me...
What's wrong with you?
Well,
It's not midweek and
No,
you
but
try to
in
fucking seize the day.
No, in general, that's just how I like to eat. So it's not like about a fucking
You
exercise.
had a ham and cheese croissant moments ago.
I know. That's because I'm hung again. And I'm like,
But you're not
I need
as hung
it.
as you were.
But I had to do this. I need to be up and about for the punter and the dribbler. So I pounded a ham and cheese crowy and tomato toasted. Very good, very cheesy, very salty. In fact, I feel a little bit tired after.
Very
it.
oily.
Oily as fuck. The reason I didn't, and also I was going to a wedding where it was going to be like heaps of nice food and shit. So I was like, fuck it, we'll go. Anyway, I hear you. When you're hungover, all bets are off. Fuck your fucking fasting. Fuck your fucking fasting. Well said. And get into your work. But I didn't. So the headache came back. Daddy pounded 2 more rapids. Look who's back. Look who's back. So I'm with you, right? I'm not taking them for anything or for everything. You only take them sparingly when you need. But holy shit balls, dude.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
It's good stuff. So shout out to Panadol out Rapid.
Did you get them after our conversation, or have you always got them kicking around?
No, I bought them in Milton because, well, like Mollymook when we were down there, because I Had a headache down there, Eddie?
Mate, I like to travel in my toiletries overnight bag thing.
Yeah.
Some rapids, some rappies,
Yeah.
and some Gaviscon. And then
You're a gourd sufferer, aren't you?
sometimes, every now and then. But then all bases are covered. Have I got a headache? Not a problem. Have I got indigestion? Not a problem.
Whereas mine's got to be, have I got a headache? Not a problem. Have I got hay fever that won't quit? I need probably.
Have I got shingles again?
Have I got
hand,
shingles?
foot, and mouth again?
Have I got COVID again?
Have I got
Fucking
psoriasis? I can't get rid of that.
I can't get rid of that. That thing's always on. I went to this wedding, and it was lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting in there as the fucking priest gives a sermon. And, like, I get it. I think, probably some priests are good. Like, some priests will give you something you can take away with you. Like,
Some are good.
some are good. I'm not saying this guy's bad. Some are good, though. This guy was a bit meandering. He went for a long time, and it was, like, a lot about himself.
That's... Sorry,
And he
bro.
starts, like,
It's
fucking...
not about you.
Starts talking about rugby league at one point, like, which, it certainly was the part I started listening, but I was like, okay, I'm out again. He started talking about para, so I'm like...
I'm done.
But he started talking to me about, to everyone, about the like how a marriage should work and a relationship should work and all this shit. And like, this is what marriage and I was like, correct me if I'm wrong here, Priesty. You haven't even fucked anyone, right? Like, what do you know about? Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't know where the church is at in that regard.
Do priests root? I'm like, dude, you haven't even fucking had sex with a woman, let alone married one.
I don't know. What if he's married?
I thought that they couldn't. I thought they were married to God.
No. I think priests can get married.
Nuns
can't.
No, nuns can't, of course. But he was in some robes.
Was this Catholic?
Yeah, what denomination are we talking here?
Maybe Catholic. It was in a church in Manly. Like,
Yeah, so Catholic Church, it says clerical celibacy is mandated for all clergy.
this guy didn't seem like he chonged. Put it that way.
Oh, so they can't? What? Even if they're married?
No, well, you can't get married, Eddie.
Oh, they can't get married?
No.
Really?
Yeah. If you're a reverend, you can. Shout out to Seventh Heaven. But if you are a priest, you're married to the Lord. So I'm like, dude, you don't know the first thing about being married. You've never been in a relationship, with respect, except for the one that happens to be between you and God. So don't start fucking telling me about how a marriage works. Bruh.
Well, maybe he's been around so many. He thinks he knows.
I get it, dude. Like,
I've sort of got to be in the trenches, though.
I've got friends who work in the mines. Like, can I start fucking kicking around advice? Look, here's how you work a fucking drill bit. Do you use drills in the mines? Probably. I don't know, Eddie, but I can talk about it.
I'm with you. I'm hearing you.
Does he think his relationship with God somehow makes him, an expert on human
I
relationships?
think they do like to give out advice, priests, don't they?
I think it's part of the job, isn't it?
Well, I know it is, but it's like, who fucking made you the boss?
Well, no one.
No one. God, apparently.
I'm with you.
They are funny, though. Priests
I'm hearing you.
Priests can be a bit like a dude at the bar who's like, he isn't with your group and he comes up and just starts telling you yarns. And you're like, oh, okay, man. Like, are you still talking to us about this thing? Okay, yep, sure. What the fuck? Who's this guy? Who's this guy here?
Whose mate is this?
Can we get this guy to... And eventually you just tell him to fuck off or you leave.
Or you just turn your back.
Yeah, exactly. That's...
Cut him out of the
You
circle.
cut him out. Sometimes you have to be as ruthless as that.
Well, it depends how many liquors you've had, bruh.
Yes. But the wedding itself, lovely, beautiful wedding.
Nice.
And Croatian. So, like, there was Croatian flags and flares and
Did
shit.
you get pissed?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I was on daddy duty as well. So, like, we just had Zoe in the
Do
pram.
they not put you under as much pressure as they have in the past to
To get flogged?
man up and fucking drink the hard stuff?
No, because it was a wedding, it's like I'm just one of the many people there. It's not about me. It's more when you go to, like, the family events where they're like, oh, here's the
ring in.
here's the white boy Aussie. Here's the soft-bodied white boy Australian. Let's go and get him into some rakia. But the rakia was flowing. They have like these flagons.
Yeah, flagon. Yep.
Is that what it's called, Dave?
No, I think it's a flagon.
Like it's like a circle. It's like a circle with a little, and it's on like a rope. They're like a bunch of them. All the men are wearing like ropes of fucking flagons of goddamn rakia everywhere. Everyone's drinking it. No, nah, not those. It's like a imagine like a big circle hip flask, but it's not a hip flask, obviously. They're pounding it into the earth, and then like they've all got like there's heaps of like disposable shot glasses and shit. They're just bongs, Dave.
Yeah.
And they're just constantly going around with it, and it's like it'll put hair on your sack. Believe that. I've never had anything as fucking strong as rakia. I don't think they use it as medicine over there as well.
Fair income.
Yeah, they're just like this will kill everything inside you, so just have it. But it was lovely. It was lovely. Thanks again for having us. I fell asleep in the car ride home. It was beautiful.
Oh, you didn't drive? No.
No, Edward. Nah. Mummy drove.
And how did you swindle that, given it was her?
She's still breastfeeding Zoe, so she can't get all fucking Malibu boobies in it.
Yeah, fair.
Or is it Malibu?
Dunno.
What's the milky alcohol?
Who looked after the...
Evie. She stayed with my father and my brother at our place. Shout out to Will and Bill. I think it was, Chaos City. Dad's hurt his knee, Will's hurt his back, and she's just a terror. And like...
What's he done to his back?
He was deadlifting, and he just...
He can't deadlift.
He just deadlifted, and he just felt like a... And he's like, oh... he told me he's gone like... Because Will's fit, right? Will's like a big, thick Australian boy.
He's a strong boy.
And then he's gone and done his deadlift. He said he's felt his back just go, but, and he's gone, oh... And he's just turned, he's put it down, and he's just walked straight out of the gym like to his car just to try and to go home. It was such a fucking funny story. I was like, my God, bro. So now he's like needing to go to physios and get it all sorted. But then you come look after Evie, who's a fucking psycho who just wants to climb all over him.
Mate, I fucked my back deadlifting years ago, and it took like, I don't know, 5 years to be properly right. I won't deadlift again. No way.
Apparently
Couldn't pay me.
deadlifting is the greatest like all-round body workout you can do.
I saw a powerlifter the other day. We might have even talked about this before. Maybe talking to Joe Rogan, being like, the risk to reward of deadlifting is not worth it.
Oh,
it's like,
really?
unless you're deadlifting because you want to get great at deadlifting because you're going to be a fucking deadlifter or some shit, don't bother because it's too easy to fuck your back.
Yeah. And your back, very important.
Very important, mate. It is the most important.
If you have a bad back, dude, it's tough to get around.
Mate of mine, James Downing, was in bed for like 2 weeks. Couldn't even fucking watch TV. Couldn't roll over and shit.
Yeah, it's a crazy, debilitating thing to have.
Oh, bruh. You don't want to fuck around with the back.
No, you don't.
So deadlift at your own peril. People might be like, you're soft, dirty, but...
Nah.
Am I?
I mean, who the fuck's saying that? You're soft, you don't deadlift. I mean, there would be people, but they're losers.
Definitely be people, bro.
Yeah. But those people reveal themselves by just merely saying that sentence. You're like, okay, I don't even need a comeback.
Yeah. Shush.
But so what did you do? Did you do anything Saturday? Or did you keep it quiet Saturday after?
I kept it quiet. I don't even know. I don't know.
You don't even know.
I don't even know. I don't know. Isn't that weird?
Well, it's probably due to...
Didn't do much. Did fuck all. Flopped about.
You flopped.
Flopped about. Yesterday, watched the UFC.
Yeah, that
Had
was
a couple
good.
of beers, but here we are.
Here we are.
I think, Tom, we've meandered long enough.
Oh, we've meandered along this road.
I think it's time to talk some sport. There's actually a little bit on.
There is actually a bit on.
There's a bit of narrative and yarn to cover.
Yeah.
So
We've got
we
to chew
will cover
through
it.
some shit.
We'll cover
Super
it.
Bowl today as well, which we aren't going to cover, but we are going to watch. Just so you know, we will watch it.
And we won't talk about it next week.
No.
So just know that there won't be any coverage.
There'll be zero coverage on the Super Bowl.
Unless
but
there's some huge yarn, we might cover it on Thursday.
yeah, we might, but we probably won't.
But obviously, we're not big NFL guys in that respect, so we'll probably just watch it.
Yeah.
Let's talk some sport.
Okay.
Tom, yesterday was a great day of fighting and yarning and fighting.
Great day for Australian Biffs.
That's right. Now, there's now a new bona fide Australian brawler. His name's Bam Bam Tuivasa.
Yeah.
He is so fun to watch. He's such a vibe. His energy
Such a
is
vibe.
fucking unbelievable.
I got to be honest. I've got to be honest. I didn't give him a shot.
No one did.
And obviously you have a shot because it's big boys throwing and, you know, a puncher's chance. But I just thought that Derek Lewis, most knockouts in UFC history, fucking, he's been in big fights before. Ty's been fucking, Ty's like...
Didn't he just fight Cyril Gahn as well?
Yeah, he lost to Cyril. He got stopped by him. But like, he just fought for a title.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Number 3 in
interim.
the world. Number 3 in the world, Derek Lewis. And number 11 in the world, Tai Tuivasa. It doesn't mean as much in the big boys, but still...
Meant something.
It means something, dude. And I just didn't think it was going to get out of the first round. And I thought Derek was going to flog him.
Well, the thing is, though, he was not that unfavoured. I think he was a $2.50 underdog, like not crazy.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, Robert Whittaker was like into the threes, I think, $3.50 potential underdog against
Right.
Israel. So he was more favoured than Robert Whittaker was, who we'll get to. But that motherfucker can just take a punch.
Dude, he took some punches. When Derek had him on the ground and was just bashing his face, I was like,
this
oh
bloke, and then
my.
but he was like, I'm determined to get up. He was almost fucking pissed off about the fact that he was on
he
his
was getting
back
punched, yeah.
and getting punched, and so he gets up and then just looks at him with his look in his eyes. He's like, fucking starts
going
again.
for it.
I love watching those big boys with the big bellies just go the big haymaker.
Just jiggle around the ring.
Yeah, and he's like constantly pulling up his like boardies and shit. I call them boardies because they look
like boardies.
Yeah. And then he just gets that elbow in, and it was sort of so quick. And
Well, it got out of the first
clinch.
round. It got out of the first, like, there was a bit more grappling than you would expect. These guys just were always, all the talk was they were just going to stand there and bang. Which
They were in the clinch for like a lot of that first round.
Yeah, but it wasn't boring. It was still interesting. I guess maybe because you also knew that like anything could happen, but it was like there was more to. They both clearly respected the fact that they could knock each other out, and so you know they. Whilst all the talks like we're just going to stand there and bang, it clearly was not as much. Or maybe it was them like also warming to the task. But once it got out of the first round, everyone was like, "Wow, okay, what the hell's going on here?" But Ty landed a couple of punches before the elbow that did the job. He landed a couple of really good shots on him, and he sort of like not wobbled him, but he looked a little bit like, holy shit. Derek Lewis seems like someone who you can not make quit, because how the hell can I talk about someone quitting when they're in there? But like, he doesn't necessarily overcome adversity super well, is the vibe I have. And once Ty started landing some shots at him, he was a bit like rattled. And then that elbow, he had his head pressed up against the fence and then connected. So his head had nowhere to go either. He just jammed him. And it, like, those ones where he's like, you knew it was over before he fucking hit the ground. Like, he just sort of doubled over.
He like careered into the ground. It was fucked.
I was shocked, dude. It was going, I was at the beach road with Listo. And
It would have been pumping down there.
And Ed, Dave. I was with all the listings. Ed, Dave, Andrew. I was the fourth listing.
Right.
But it was going off. It was going off. Sammy George doing shoeies.
Was Sammy George down there?
Sammy George doing shoeies in front of the crowd.
Love that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him for a while.
Oh, no.
Is he well?
He's good. Still big and thick.
Yeah, bet.
Jacked.
Shout out to Sammy George. There was a feeling, I think, I wasn't at the pub, you were, but like there was a lot of videos get sent around. We got a few in the inbox and shit. There's some I saw online. Like, there's a real vibe around town, I think, from the general public on Bam Bam. Like, holy shit, this guy is actually fucking somebody now.
Oh, he's somebody now. He'll be in the top 5. And he'll be fighting big dick swingers now. And like, I heard someone talking.
And he's so infectious.
But like, yeah, he's a character, right? So he comes
Exactly
out to
right.
the music, he does the shoeies. But to get a highlight reel knockout on the Knockout King on a pay-per-view is like...
As the co-main.
As the co-main is like strap a rocket ship to his back. He's fucking huge. I think he got a couple of 100,000 followers on IG overnight.
What's he on now?
He's on like 6 something. I'm pretty sure he's on like
5.
4.
He was on 5.
He's on 5? Yeah, I
right.
saw like that's as an example of just like how the star power rising.
He's a star. He's been padding main events for years now. Because
but he's been fighting nobodies. Relative.
Of course, but I'm saying more from the perspective of like, Dana obviously knows this kid's fucking fun. The crowd loves him.
Yes.
Like when he walked out, It's in Houston, and Derek Lewis is from Houston, and he still gets a fucking rapturous applause.
Yeah.
Like, he's popular wherever he
But
goes.
they also were like, they were booing him before the fight in terms of like when it's who they're going for. And then after the fight, they were all like, oh, we love this guy. As in, not that they didn't love him already, but you're fucking coming out against the crowd favourite.
What's not to love, though? It annoyed me that they didn't show the shoey. Is that like, did they
Why
do that
the
on purpose?
fuck didn't they do that?
I feel like they did that on purpose.
Why
No,
though?
because they showed another one later, like when he walked to the crowd.
walking
I reckon
through the
they
crowd.
just-
That's true.
I reckon they just stuffed it.
They must have just
You
fucked
were
it.
saying that
They
as well.
kept the camera on Derek Lewis for so long. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is ridiculous. This is too long.
Not to get political, but apparently Rogan was left off by Disney. He was like, he could have done it. Off the broadcast.
But Dana said he could have done it.
Yeah, because he could have done it. Dana probably can't come out and say, yeah, they pulled him.
Oh, Disney pulled him.
Yeah.
Really?
Some people were saying scheduling...
Really?
That's the...
I got the impression that he was like, I'm just going to take a breather.
Yes, and that's what I thought as well. And I wouldn't be surprised by that.
That's fine, bro. If you want to take a breather, that's
I was watching a bit of a fight companion that Brendan Schaub was doing. Schaub, obviously friends with Rogan. And he, just the way he was talking, he could be full of shit, but the way he was talking was intimating that it was like, Disney were like, we want to not fucking rattle the cages here.
So just take a breather for this week and then...
But that to me shows, think what you want about Rogan. I'm not here to fucking do that, but like, that's like a lack of support for your guy who's your commentator. I wouldn't be surprised if Rogan was like, I won't do any more commentary. I'm not saying that'll happen. Who the fuck knows? But that sort of thing, if that is the way it transpired, I wouldn't be surprised. Rogan always talks about like, I don't need this fucking, like I love it. It's great, but like.
He's been doing it for ages.
He's been doing it for years.
He used to do every pay-per-view as
Yeah,
well. No matter where it was in the world.
In the world, yeah. Now he's
Now
like,
he only does the US ones.
yeah.
But anyway, Bam Bam on the fucking rise like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Bonafide superstar now.
Yeah.
Super charismatic. So much about him. Like,
But now
just
you're
this
like-
Eshe fucking
From Western
Westie
Sydney.
from Western Sydney,
Yeah.
like on the big stage.
Played Roosters Juniors.
Yeah, played Harold Matson shit. I think he played with Clary.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Clacker. Shout out to Motorino.
Dude, I love it. So authentic.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't give a fuck.
Doesn't give a shit.
So sick to watch.
He was
So
like,
sick.
what, like 5 beers deep before he even left the arena yesterday.
Mate,
Yeah.
yeah. 3 shoeies on the way out.
Yeah.
Plus the one on the fence. So yeah, 4 or 5. Unbelievable.
I someone I saw someone put up somewhere, but it was like Bam Bam paying like $1 to piss the bed tonight.
Jesus Christ. There was a couple. Did you see that story someone tagged us in of them doing margarita shoeies?
Oh yeah, margarita shoe.
As an ode to Bam Bam and his
Fucking
win.
hell.
Unbelievable.
That's a new spin on a classic margarita.
That's right. Who do you think you'll fight next? Do you think you'll fight Cyril Gahn?
Potentially. I mean, I don't know. Like, Cyril Gahn is... I don't want him to fight Cyril Gahn next. He could, but like Cyril Gahn is... has shown that he can avoid getting hit, which is probably the only way Bam Bam's going to fucking win is to knock him out. Again, do I know what I'm talking about, punters and dribblers? No, this is opinion. But like, Derek Lewis and Cyril Gahn fought and he couldn't get near him. Cyril Gahn's just moves like no one else. Like Francis couldn't fucking hit him.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So
Francis had to take him to the ground. And
yeah,
fucking
exactly. Like, so
just
I don't know.
lay all over him, basically.
Yeah. And Francis was injured, sure, whatever. But yeah, like the thing that's good about Bam Bam is just you want to see him just go in there, knock someone out, do a shoey and have a good time. So like, do you need...
But we can't do that forever.
Well, we could if you're getting paid
Not if you're top fucking 5, bro.
to a degree. I agree with you. You can, like,
If he fights someone next, you would assume in the top 5.
I don't think it has to be in the top 5.
Well,
though.
not necessarily.
Let's say he's number 5. You could be fighting 6, 7, 8.
Well, for sure. But if he wins again, do you know what I mean? If you keep
It depends
winning,
on what he wants as well. If he wants to go for the title, like, yeah, sure.
If you keep winning, it's inevitable.
Yes, it is. As you climb that ladder. But then it's like John Jones, Stipe Miocic, Francis Ngannou, Cyril Gahn's like, oh, Fuck,
I know,
dude,
they seem, no offense to Bam, they seem like
another level.
a rung up.
A real another level.
But you never know.
Absolutely not. You can't, like...
Say that about Derek Lewis,
Yeah,
potentially.
exactly.
And then he goes out there and fucking knocks him
dead. I don't think... Can you check, Dave, if Derek Lewis has ever been knocked out before? I thought that was the first time he'd been knocked out.
Crazy. Unbelievable.
Definitely the first time I saw it happen. Anywho, then Rob and Izzy fought, and it was a very different fight. It was a technical fucking chess match of a fight. Close. I think it was probably fair. Like, the result was probably fair. Rob certainly was seemed like he was taking the fight to Izzy more, and Izzy just sort of was able to sit back and just do whatever he wants.
Izzy is so fucking elusive. That reach difference is
7 inches.
Is so profound.
7
when
inches.
You're watching them fight, like the height and the reach, you're just going.
You hang your hat on 7 inches.
Oh my god! Hang your hat on.
You hang your hat on 7 inches.
You
comfortably.
walk around town like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
If you're rocking that 7-inch thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's nothing to trifle with.
No, it's nothing to trifle with. Forget trifle.
Yeah.
This thing's legit. Now, the other thing that I thought was interesting is when Rob was clearly trying to take him down throughout the fight, would have trained heavily for that. When he gets him to the ground, Israel would just get back up. Straight away, like, get off me.
Yeah.
And then, like, there was a couple of moments where Rob's on his back and shit. It looked like a little brother on his big brother.
Yeah.
They are very different sizes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Israel must cut a fair bit.
He would. He's also like 6'3", 6'4". Like, he's fucking tall.
And fucking strong.
Yeah. And he's also put on some bulk.
You know what I mean? Like, as soon as he'd get him to the ground, he'd be like, nah, bro, I'm just going to
get back up.
Yeah, Adesanya's 1.93 m and Rob Whittaker's 1.80 m.
13 centimeters.
There you go.
And Derek Lewis has been knocked out. He's had 4 TKOs.
Oh, shit.
Surely Rob's on fucking crutches today. Some of those leg kicks were so nasty.
Yeah, he would be. But it was still a close fight.
I think he landed 11 or 15. It was 11 or 15 in the first round.
Yeah, he got him good. But Rob is the clear next best after Izzy. And it was fucking close, man. Like, I'd watch that fight again. You know what I mean? Like, now the next one they're going to say is Jared Cannonier, and Rob fucked Jared Cannonier up. Like, he's just so clearly the next best. But it was Rob. I think the judges had Rob winning rounds 4 and 5. So 3 and 2 were close rounds. Round 1.
Is that what the judges had? 4 and 5. 5 definitely.
5 definitely. I'm pretty sure they had 4 and 5 in the press conference.
I thought he won round 2.
That's why it was like, it wasn't so much like. Obviously, it was not a robbery by any means, but it was like, if he'd won it, you would have probably people still saying like, okay, you'd still have people saying it's a bullshit call as well, but like.
Well, one of the judges had it 4-1, Izzy, and the other two had it 3-2.
Yeah. You can also, like, you know, you got to beat the champ to be the champ, and it was too close to take it off him.
I think if he won, people would be like, that was ridiculous.
Potentially.
Which you don't necessarily want to see.
I do find it like, and I don't know what it is about Izzy because I do like him, but Rob is a class act and is just friendly and nice, and Izzy just is a fucking prick about him and to him every time they fucking like.
Well, even after the fight, when he's like, well, let's run it back, we'll do it again. He goes, yeah, I just told you then.
Like, good little boy.
Yeah,
like,
if you run boy and shit or something.
I'm like, there's nothing classy about that shit.
No, it was weird. Like, again, I'm not fucking riding Connor's dick here, but after a fight, he would always be
sans not including bloody Poirier 2, 3,
obviously. But every other time, generally speaking, he'd be pretty classy.
Yeah.
Go, look, I got to be better, or
hats off to him. He's a good fighter.
Izzy has something about Rob he doesn't like. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm like, Rob's like the nicest guy in the whole UFC.
The nicest guy you've ever seen, and Rob's like, you know, we're into a lot of the same things. Like, we could have been friends.
So cute about it, bro. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem?
What does this guy need to do, Izzy? Like, to me says that he holds him way higher than he does like anyone else. Like, they're obviously really competitive and at the top of the tree. And it's like, he can't let himself like this guy because he's so close to like.
Yeah. Well, he's the only one at middleweight that's fucking anything.
Yes. But I just hope that that's more what it is, because again, I like Izzy. He seems like he is a good dude outside of the persona, but that way, like, you just can't hate Robert Whittaker. He just fights hard, owns his shit.
You cannot hate him. I was Devo for him.
Yeah.
He was close. He had a fucking crack. That first round, I'm like, oh,
This isn't looking good at all.
Oh dear. It's happening again.
Yeah.
It's happening again. And
He
then
gets
comes
dropped.
out in the second round, he fucking had a real crack.
That dropping looked innocuous.
We just caught him off guard.
I was like, did you slip?
I think it was maybe like a footing thing, timing, like just bang.
Yeah,
Like
but
a
he sort
fucking
of
fight.
referred to it as being hurt.
Mate, it was crazy. He definitely didn't slip. I'm just saying it caught him off guard a little bit. I don't know.
I love the way he talked about it as well. Like, this is just intimidating fighter speak that, like, you and I, people who don't fight, don't have. But he's like, yeah, I guess I just got to go and stomp the next guy out. I got to go and stomp a bunch of the other guys out, like I will. Like, he's sort of just talking about how, like, no one else in this division has anything for me, so I'm just going to go stomp out a bunch of beaters, come back and fight for the title again. I'm like, oh, God.
Jesus.
The idea of, like, talking about stomping someone out, I'm like, oh.
Just go stomp on beaters.
Just go and stomp out the other opposition, and then I'll come back and go for a third. Like,
Crazy. Now, we turn our attention, Tom, to the next pay-per-view. I believe
March
5th?
6 or
6th?
7? 7? I think it's 7.
Colby Covington,
Jorge
Masvidal.
Masvidal.
Now,
Horny.
they used to be teammates, used to live together and shit. What was the falling out over?
I think that Colby started talking shit about George when they both started to, like, get a bit more.
But they were mates and lived together.
But Colby was fighting either Damian Maia. I think it was Damian Maia in Brazil, and the UFC said to him that we're going to cut you even if you win, because you're just not a fucking needle mover. So he went out, he beat Damian Maia, then afterwards he stood in the cage and was like, fuck Brazil, you're all fucking dogs, like living in slums, place a shithole. Like, he just went full heel. He was like, this is the only way. There's some people who are like, Colby Covington's actually not a bad guy in terms of, like, who he is or was as a person.
But he's had to cultivate this persona to stay in the UFC.
Yeah, and now, but he's clearly also a good fighter, so it's not the only, but like...
No, of course.
So
I'm just saying, if they said you're going to get cut...
He just came out and went hard, and then it's just launched and gone harder. But in so doing, at some point, has also started taking shots at Masvidal, and he's like, "What the fuck? Like, you used to live on my couch, dude. Like, what the fuck is going on?" So I think it's like it's real because it was like you just completely, not to use a Rob Whittaker term, but stomped out our friendship.
Hectic.
Yeah,
That's going to be fucking biblical.
yeah, it will. I think Colby wins it. I think he smashes him. But I would like for Masvidal to win.
I don't really have a dog in the fight, as it were. I don't really care either way,
No.
personally.
No, I do like Masvidal, but I do actually like Colby as well.
So do I.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like his dumb bullshit that he brings.
it's a little bit like taboo to say, but I enjoy him.
No, I do. I didn't used to, but then, like, again, it's like the curious thing. It's like life becomes so much easier when you embrace, as opposed to being like, dude, it's fucking disgraceful. It's like, no, dude, it's actually fun.
Just enjoy it, bro.
Yeah, enjoy it. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
Be entertained.
Allow yourself to be entertained,
Yeah.
bruh. Allow it.
Fucking Will Pekovsky.
Yeah.
Dude, he kicked a volleyball into his face.
In the warm-up.
Well, you're certainly not kicking a volleyball into your face during the game.
No, you're not. And if you are,
Then
You're not playing
You're
cricket.
not playing cricket.
playing volleyball.
Yeah, and you're not playing volleyball correctly.
What I'm trying to point out, though, is that he wasn't involved in a 5-man game of ferocious volleyball. He was just fucking
He was just juggling a volleyball.
juggling a volleyball. Hits him in the head.
How hard can you kick a volleyball into your face? That's the real question. Because
Well, you can kick it hard into your face. Of course you can. But you've got to, like, are you capable of it? Yes. But it's almost got to be premeditated.
But no, I'm saying you can't kick a volleyball into your face that hard unless you were
Unless
to
you
boot it
lean
into
into
it.
it.
boot it into a wall and then you're like off the wall into your
Or
face.
you lean into it.
Yeah, but even then, like just stand up and mechanically try and like see how, like to kick something back at yourself like that is not easy. And also, like, why would you?
Sure. I mean, we could get bogged down in semantics. I don't feel like we need to.
No, let's just assume that he wasn't trying to boot a volleyball as hard as he can into his face, and let's assume he didn't successfully pull that off.
I think it's a fair assumption.
So let's say that if you're going to kick a ball into your face,
Yep.
it's probably going to be a light-ish touch.
Do you reckon he tried to header it?
That to me would be insanity if you've got head issues and you're headering volleyballs. I think from the yarns I hear, he kicked it into his face. Now, as we know with concussions, the more you get concussed, the easier it is to get concussed.
Yes, we do know that.
So, like, a light bump or a relative light bump from a volleyball to the dome, and he's out again.
Couple of things. How long would you need to take off potentially to see some sort of improvement? Or is he fucked now forever? I know you can't answer that question because you're not a doctor. I'm just asking sort of an open question.
From my relatively extensive understanding of the brain, I heard it described once as like there's some sort of tissue in between the brain and the skull.
A malleable tissue, Tom?
I wouldn't say it was malleable, but it's something that like there's some sort of like connective sort of tissue, some sort of fiber or something, and with every concussion, that shit sort of breaks
Skull
apart.
tissue.
That shit sort of breaks apart, and I don't think that heals. And I think that like keeps the brain in relative place, and then when you fucking bang, you get a knock, it like.
So it protects it.
Well, it sort of keeps it in place, and then it rips and tears, and then it becomes looser and looser, and maybe that's why the brain sloshes around the dome.
We can only rip and tear so often.
Before it's all ripped and it's all torn.
I think that we need to make the big call with Will. Or Will needs to make the big call.
Yeah, it's not our call. Look,
Well, it's not our call. I'm talking as a collective here, as a nation.
Yeah.
By supporting Will. But Will needs to make the tough decision. I think it's time to hang it up. If you can't even fucking headbutt a volleyball, where you at, bro?
and if it was a freak accident, then I almost think that you need to just like the gods aren't in your favor, dog.
But mate, you're going to get hit on the head again by a bouncer. If you can't even
Cop a volleyball.
like, where are we at?
Unless there is more to it that we don't know, and I don't know what that more to it would. I know he's got mental health problems as well. I don't know how, like, that doesn't give you concussions, but like, I don't know.
But is his mental health caused from the concussions? Potentially. You know? I thought he'd been hit on the head. It was first reported as though he'd been hit on the head again in practice in the net.
Yes.
And then it came out, someone was like, nah, bro, it was a fucking volleyball. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, I read as well that like the vast majority of all his concussions haven't actually been from like facing a bouncer. Like he got a lot when he was playing AFL. There was a couple fielding or like running in between wickets.
Yeah,
where
like
his
he
head
tripped
hit the
over in
ground.
between wickets or some shit and hit
Yeah.
his head. Like, the bouncer narrative not as true as.
Oh,
we
so
also
he doesn't
say.
often get bounced.
I think he's had a couple that have hit him in the head, but like, I don't think it's particularly
But of the
more-
11 now, it's...
Yeah, 11, bro. 11 is a lot. And they keep happening. He's played one test. They're saying he's like the most talented since punter, which is a huge call when you got Steve Smith rolling around. But like, he's very fucking good.
Oh, they've had tickets on him for ages.
Yeah.
I heard about him.
We heard about the Balkan Bulldog long before
5
the
years
people
ago,
were talking
6 years
about
ago,
him.
7 years ago.
Yeah.
When he was just a pup.
Just an embryo.
Just an embryo. He's 24 now. I think we knew about him when he was 16. There, I said it.
Yeah.
I feel fucking sorry for Wilbur Cobbs.
Very sorry.
Because if people are calling you the best since Ricky, when Steve Smith's rolling around, that puts him into perspective as to what he possibly would have been able to achieve. One test, at least you got the baggy green, you could argue.
Yeah.
But I think sane heads need to prevail here because 11 concussions at 24 is outrageous. They're happening in this innocuous fashion. I think we just got to pack it up. Or at the very least, have a couple of years off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You're still 26. Maybe then
You can come back.
you can come back, but you need to do nothing for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Am I making that number up? Fucking oath I am.
Yeah. Does that even help concussions? Who knows?
I don't know. Tom at the top said that he thinks that the ripping and the tearing cannot be fixed. He doesn't know that for sure. I don't know that for sure. We don't know that for sure. What we do know for sure is
that we don't know
you're
anything.
gonna fuck this kid up if you keep fucking sending him out to bat.
Yeah. Yeah. Surely doctors are, but like I do have faith in doctors in that situation. And be like, dude, you can't, like, ultimately, I guess maybe you make the call, right, as the person, but the doctor goes,
I don't know.
I would advise you to stop playing.
I feel like he would have already been advised after 11 concussions.
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Like, how many did Boyd Corder and shit have?
Yeah.
How many did Jake Keary had?
Yeah.
You know?
And theirs are worse because they're getting knocked fucking cold most of the time or stumbling around. His is like he starts developing concussion-like symptoms. So he gets a volleyball to the dome. Oh, okay, that was a bit funny. Then he goes out and there were 3 balls played in the match and he's in the field and he's like, nah, I'm out.
But his concussion symptoms can last ages as well.
Yeah.
So, not good.
Not good, dude. Very sad.
Not good. And obviously it's upsetting because David Warner on his last legs, it would seem.
Uzi Khawaja also as old as Methuselah.
He is as old as Methuselah, who we've covered extensively in past podcasts. Shout out to Methuse. It would seem, be in desperate need of a couple of openers to come in and start,
ripping. I wouldn't mind like again, I don't know, like.
But this is maybe a Matt Renshaw, but he's been batting down the order, hasn't he?
I think you can get Matty Wrench back in there. Again, we are talking as people that basically know the test side and a few of the throbbers as the batting, like the bat off happens every summer.
Yes, you could go, what about fucking Stanley Moore?
Yeah, and we're like, oh maybe. Yeah, he's got a great first-class record and he's young. Righto, cool. Sure.
Stanley Moore may exist.
Send us his fucking highlights.
Send a photo.
Let us run an eye over him.
We'll run an eye over that stock.
Like Josh Philippe, is he good? I know he plays like 2020s really well, but I hear his name a lot, and
I hear Philippe's name.
I can get around Philippe at the top of the order, Eddie.
Sure. I mean,
does he open? I don't know.
I don't. Does he bat? I don't know.
Does he like the longer format?
Does he like red cherries? I don't know. All I do know is that the Balkan Bulldog, Will Puskovsky, was touted as opening the innings for
the
this
MBT.
country.
Next big thing.
The next big thing. And we were going to win tests on the back of him. Now, it's disappointing that we arrive here, but he needs to have a couple of years off, go drink some margaritas, chill on the beach.
Get some margs into your will. Get out to like a Mediterranean country.
Go and find yourself a really top-tier beach chair.
Yeah.
One that you know is honest and true.
Dude, one that also doesn't hold moisture. One that like you're able to get from in the Mediterranean oceans back to the beach chair and then you're dry in a second.
Yeah. It also doesn't need to be the Mediterranean. It can be.
I just think that that's a really like a nice, that's good for the soul, that sort of that heat.
Yes.
Pebble beach, like stones. You know those beaches where it's all stone?
I get over the stone.
That's why you have the chair, Eddie.
Yeah. No, I get that, but I like the chair anyway. But I do get over the pebble.
The pebbles, well, they get fucking piping hot. It's hard to walk on.
Well, they get annoying to walk on. Sand is better than stone.
Of course it is, but you need a change.
Yes. Okay, we're looking for change.
We're looking for change.
Sand hasn't worked.
Sand hasn't worked, mate. We need a change. We need pebbles on the beach.
I'm with you. He needs R&R.
Yeah.
And that involves a deck chair. It involves a good, honest book, Tom.
A good, honest book. Well, a couple. He's got a few years here. We'll get a Pukovsky's book club.
Bukowski's Book Club. Get
the Balkan Book Club.
The Balkan Book Club. Bang. We get a nice, deep umbrella for deep shade.
Yeah. One also that is easy to maneuver. I tell you what, Eddie.
You can move depending on
where the sun is. But you can also get one of those deck chairs that comes with its own umbrella slot, and you're just.
Yep.
What you also want to have is like a side table built into that deck chair.
Yes.
Because you're going to have margs brought to you on the
hour
hour.
And now all of a sudden we're at some sort of beach club where they do club sandwiches. Well, doesn't
Now we
need
got
to
some,
be.
but you can. We're starting to introduce some music into this thing. Yeah. Before you know it, he's up on the dance floor as well. Stay the fuck away from his head.
How does sound go for the head?
We get him some earmuffs, or just plugs. Muffs is a bit too. Muffs make him look special.
It's like they make him
people
look
who
special.
look weird. Like, no offense
We
to earmuff
we
wearers.
just don't want him to stand out from the crowd.
No, you just want him to be
This
part
is
of it.
about keeping your head down, relaxing, Rancho Relaxo style.
Yeah, horizontal season.
Yeah.
For the Balkan Bulldog.
And earmuffs aren't a vibe in the Mediterranean. We all know that.
It's too fucking hot.
I know. Because earmuffs are usually fluffy. I don't know if they need to be.
They definitely don't, but earmuffs fluffy, but then you could also have the labouring, the builders types where you get the fluoro earmuffs. They're not called earmuffs though.
They're called...
I mean, I would call them earmuffs, but you wouldn't call them earmuffs probably on a work site. You'd probably get stomped out. Shout out to Rob Whitaker.
Where are my earmuffs?
You don't have earmuffs. They're called probably... What are they called, Dave?
No, they are earmuffs. Yep.
There you go. Sounds a little bit childish for the work site. But we can get him some high-vis earmuffs if we have to. But again, the music is more like for weekends, I think, when the Balkan Bulldogs R&R. From Monday to Friday, it's horizontal, it's pebble beaches, it's deck chairs, it's margaritas.
Club sandwiches.
And like seafood.
I wouldn't mind Will getting a bit of a belly.
I think he has to get a belly, Eddie.
You know what I mean?
He's got to get comfy.
I want him to get really comfy. I want him to get a big belly. I want him to get a nice horizontal season t-shirt.
Yep.
That with all the buttons undone,
Yep.
and he's just got the belly out, and he's got a club sandwich rested on it.
Yeah.
And
he gets a tum. He becomes cuddly.
Yeah, he's got cuddly in him as well.
Yeah,
so
you can
I
see
just want
that.
to see him embrace the cuddly side.
Yeah.
Then he's got a pina colada, margarita, fucking Negroni, whatever mood he's in.
Yes.
Maybe it's 10 o'clock and he's got a Bloody Mary. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
All that matters is that he's comfortable. He's got the tum. He's on the pebble because the sand not working. And he's in Rancho Relaxo mood because God knows if he continues the way he's continuing, then I fear for the longevity of his life.
Yes.
Not just his career, Tom.
His life.
His life.
He needs to just go and slap that tum. You know?
Slap that tum. Get a tum,
Get
bro,
a tum.
and slap it.
Yeah.
Get yourself the love of a beautiful woman or a man. I don't know which way he swings.
Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
Love of a human.
Love of a human, bro. Tom, did you see Stuart Broad?
Yeah, I didn't read the article, but I was trying to work out, has he been dropped?
From their tour of the West Indies.
What is going on with
James
this?
Anderson as well.
They're just trying to usher in the new.
He took to some sort of publication, maybe the
Yeah,
Daily
I think he
Mirror.
writes an article for somewhere in England.
He does, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? I took 11 wickets in the last 2 Ashes tests, which, you know, we're the number 1 test side in the world, so 11 wickets against
The best
side in the world
Yeah.
means something.
Yeah.
The English selectors I don't understand how a bit of experience around a younger setup can't help.
Is Jofra back?
Not that I'm aware of.
They must just not like him, dude. Like, I don't understand how.
Well, they don't like the headband he wears,
Well, who does?
and he didn't walk.
He didn't walk. Well, no, he's a shit bloke, and he wears a headband that is hiding some serious erosion, follicle erosion they call it.
They do call it follicle erosion.
He seems like a bit of a fuckwit. He celebrates. He wraps someone on the pads, and he's already got his arms out running before he's even turned and fucking looked at the umpire. Like, it's just
Mate,
that.
I read the article.
What's it called? Like a celeb appeal or something? Celebration appeal. Like he's already celebrating whilst appealing.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah.
I read the article, and although I do think he's been hard done by, I kept thinking to myself, would Ricky Ponting ever write something like this?
No.
Like, it was very, look at me, look how hard done by I am. It's just, it was a bit
He's a whingy little pom.
crass. I don't know if crass is the right word. It
Nah.
was just it was like
Tacky?
whiny tacky.
Yeah.
It was tacky. Really, really tacky stuff. You know, if you're one of the greatest bowlers of all time, do you need to come out and pen this like fucking this article about?
Is he like a pussy who'd like dob? Is he a dibber dobber?
He's a dibber dobber. Yeah.
Okay.
I
I get
think so.
dibber dobber vibes.
I get dib dobber vibes. Again, I respect him as a bowler. And I think he's been hard done by. But this, I got real dibber-dubber vibes, real tacky as fuck vibes from this article.
You know what they say about dibber-dobbers, don't you? They wear nappies.
Wet ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. Now,
Are we saying Stuart Broad's got a wet nappy? It seems like it. Seems like he's
it
pissed
seems
his
to
nappy.
me like he did and does.
Seems
Seems to me like he wears nappies.
Stu's pissed his nappy.
Yeah.
And he's not happy.
And what you're reading is him wearing a wet nappy,
Yeah.
bearing his soul.
That's the article that he wrote is what you are going to expect someone to create when they're writing whilst sitting in a wet nappy.
in a wet nappy.
A soiled nappy.
A soiled wet nappy. He's sitting quite literally in his own filth as he pens the article, and it comes through.
Yep.
It comes through.
It comes all the way through.
All the way through. It's showing.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I do. Yeah.
Yes.
It's well, I don't know if anyone knows here. I'm a father. I have 2 kids.
You know it. You know what I'm talking
but
about.
you can tell when there's a wet nappy or when there's a soiled nappy because they swell. Looks like a baboon's asshole. It's like a humongous, swollen mass that just is like protruding.
Is that urine or soil?
Well, it swells because of the urine.
Yes. Because it absorbs.
And I mean, poo obviously is going to displace some of the nappy and make it more sizable as well. But I think you probably have to do a pretty big poo for that to happen. I think it is more about the urine when you're seeing a swollen nappy. And I know what it looks like.
Are they biodegradable?
We get biodegradable nappies, but they aren't all biodegradable.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's disgraceful.
I know.
Think about how many nappies are used.
Dude, I go our rubbish bin is filled fucking sometimes twice a day. And there's just nappies.
Twice a day?
Yeah, sometimes.
With nappies?
Not just
How many
for
nappies a day do you go through? Give me a nappy count. On a bad day.
On a bad day, yeah. On a bad day, you could go through like 10 a baby.
10 a baby.
Potential on a bad day. Like Evie will sometimes do like 4 shits in a day. Then you've got them when she wakes up in the morning, you got to change one. And then when she wakes up.
Do they shit themselves overnight?
Not usually. Usually it's wee-wee in the night. Wake up with a big swollen Stuart Broad nappy. And then they'll do poos during the day. Zoe doesn't poo as much. When Zoe was first born, it was poo city, dude. Poo city. So you would going through nappies with her, but a bad day you could do 10 nappies. That's a bad day though.
Wonder how many Stuart Broad gets through.
Bro, well, he's putting Evie to shame, I'll tell you that.
He'd be a 15-20 operator, wouldn't he?
Especially because of the size of his bladder, right? So he'd be going through a lot more piss than a 2-year-old child.
Well, you'd assume so, but I think he's also got a weak bladder.
So it's just dribbling constantly.
It's constantly
You
wet.
need to change like a washer on his cock.
Yeah, and he hasn't.
He hasn't changed the washer.
He
on his
hasn't
cock.
changed the
It's just
washer.
dribbling.
Yeah, he's
we need to get
dribbling.
Ironside over there. I know he's not a penile, but he's a plumber.
Well, he's not a penile plumber, but I think that the fundamentals are the same.
Yeah,
are they not?
yeah. The skills are transferable.
They're very transferable.
Yeah.
Changing a washer on a penis is surely the same as changing one on a pipe.
We can only assume. Again, with limited.
I don't know for sure.
No, with
I'm
limited
going on
plumbing
vibe
knowledge.
and vibe alone, and
Yeah.
vibe has got me here.
It's done well for us so far.
Fucking oath it has.
I think it's safe to say that you could change the washer on Stuart Broad's penis to stop the leaking, but will Stuart do it? It seems
And
like
would we want to?
I don't want to go near it.
No, I don't. But part of me enjoys seeing him in nappies, wet ones. Too.
Yes. Well, you look at him. You look at his when he pay a bit more attention when you see Stuart next time in pants. The man's in nappies.
I've never been more sure of something in my
No,
life.
it's a big dumpy ass because
It's
he's got
huge and
he's
dumpy.
got nappies.
Too dumpy.
It's way too dumpy.
It's too dumpy for his frame.
He's got a nappy underneath his khakis.
He's out of proportion.
Yep.
Why? Because he's got a nappy on. Shout out to the Australians playing the T20 series against Sri Lanka.
Yeah, and one of the,
I thought that the marketing behind this series, top notch.
Top notch, Eddie.
Best I've seen.
Yeah, definitely.
Best I've seen.
I've watched every ball.
Haven't missed a ball. Wouldn't miss a ball.
Wouldn't miss a
dream of
ball.
missing a ball because you know why? I was told about it.
Yep.
I've
Because I
been
knew it
informed
was
early.
on.
I knew it was on. I knew it was on.
Because I knew it was on, I was able to watch every ball.
And because I knew it was on, I set my watch to it.
Yeah.
My watch was set.
Oh, Australia's playing Sri Lanka in T20 this one night this week, maybe. I'm going to make sure I'm watching it.
Yep, 100%.
Or, Australia played Sri Lanka in a T20 last night. Thank God I knew about it and watched it all.
Couldn't agree more.
Now, as we were coming in here this morning, our dear friend behind the desk there, David Aloysius Bloom, or D or Dave as you know him, pointed out that Smudge knocked himself out or concussed himself in this T20 we watched last night.
And he's missing the series.
And he's missing the rest of this series.
That's right. Not the Pakistan series,
I
this
was going to
series.
say that what a waste of a fucking concussion. Dave, do you have the footage of that?
I do, if the internet will oblige us.
Well, we'll
let's
see.
give it a
We'll see.
try.
Dave will load that up. Commiserations also to Steve Smith, who got passed in at the IPL auction.
So he's not going to the IPL.
Well, so he's had a basement price of 350 grand. So he's basically saying, I'm not going to India for less than that. And people were like, nah.
Isn't that crazy? Did you hear about the guy called like Dave Smith, who was
Tim David.
Tim David? He's an Aussie. 75 grand was his basement price. He went for $1.5 million.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude. Of no one knows who you are.
Who the
fame.
fuck? He wasn't in any article I saw.
Dude, they're like
When was this? They were like the $1 million players. He wasn't one of them.
Tim David.
How the fuck does that happen?
Tim David.
David.
He had a good Big Bash league, like batting.
Some good, and his
batting in
his
at 5 or
strike rates.
6, yeah.
He's playing in the Pakistan Premier League. His strike rate's at 200 currently.
Tim David of no one knows who the fuck you are. Fox Sports didn't even put you in the article.
Hobart Hurricanes. Tim David.
Yeah, he's also represented Singapore in international cricket.
Right. So he's a household name.
Because the country boy got 1.5-ish. Paddy Cummins got 1.3.
Paddy Cummins went from 3 million last time to 1.
Yeah, but he was like overs the first
Yes.
time. Like he got paid too much.
Yes.
And then did nothing.
Did
And they're
nothing.
like,
Barely played.
David Warner went
Delhi
for half
Capitals.
but he's still got 1.1, I think.
For fucking 8
Mitchy
weeks.
Marsh
work.
got over $1 million.
Yeah, I like that for Mitch.
What about the show? Or was he already on contract?
Don't know about the show. He might already be on contract.
He must be.
Show's rocking a priz puss right now that is...
You don't miss out. You wouldn't look past the show, would you?
Have you seen the show's goatee?
No.
Oh,
Show's rocking a goatee you can set your watch to at the minute. Show's a goatee guy. Show's a top-knot guy. He's a...
Look, anything that's can be put on show, he'll rock.
Yeah, he'll rock it. Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Top
yeah.
knot. I'm on show. Like he's a peacocker.
He's a peacocker. He he had the big necklace at one point.
Probably read the game.
Or The Secret.
Oh, what's the secret?
The Secret's the like fucking...
manifesting you unlock
your
things,
reality
like,
and
yeah,
you know what
yeah.
the game is?
Yeah, the game's like how to
Yeah.
pick up chicks
Yeah.
and shit. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Look at that goatee, dude.
I don't mind it.
He's also rocking veneers, of course.
A goatee into veneers.
Shout out to the dribbler who actually reached out and said
Or
that he'd give me free
basically
dental.
veneers below. Which guy? The guy from...
Mullumbimbia's own?
Yeah, he did.
I'm not going to take it. I'd love free dental, but I'm
Well,
yeah.
it's not exactly next door, is it?
Well, it's not, but it's more like it's also a joke. Like I wouldn't want to fucking have someone have to like be
Well,
put
I
out.
think,
You know what I mean?
well, I think you'd open your mouth and you'd go, "This is far more extensive than I thought."
yeah, there's a lot of work here.
This
This is a knockdown rebuild.
This is a knockdown rebuild. This isn't a DIY project, mate. This isn't a reno.
But shout out to that guy. Very kind of you, but I will just go to a fucking dentist and pay for it like an Australian should.
Yeah.
But
Well, unless you got a health card.
yeah, unless you're like fucking right next door to my house and you contact me in the next 24 hours. But no, it was very, very generous. So Smudge knocked himself out, David. Is that
That is correct.
what you would have me
See
believe?
this,
Why is
yes.
half the screen taken up?
Well, because
by-
it's paused and they love to put
Oh,
ads in the
gotcha.
pause.
My
Yeah.
sincerest apologies.
That's okay. Here we go.
Would you, hold on, pause it. What's the context of this fucking...
Oh, okay. So this is like, I reckon this is second last over, if that's Hazelwood bowling. Yeah. They needed like something like 39 off the last 2 overs or something. Hazelwood.
Sri Lanka did.
Yeah, Sri Lanka did. Yeah, we're absolutely nowhere. Like 3 for 40 after like 9 overs. Didn't look like winning. And then, yeah, Hazelwood conceded, I reckon, like 12 or something off the second last over. And we'd kind of used all our specialist bowlers. So Stoinis ended up bowling the last over, which included like a wide, I think a wicket. And then their like number 9 batsman came in, hit a 6 off his first ball, and then like a 2 and a 3 or something. Anyway, got it to a super over. And then we creamed them in the super over.
Okay, but so
This,
Smith...
so this was like second last over.
Just
They
trying
were
to
still
stop a
kind of
boundary.
in it. Yeah, he's trying to stop a 6. Let's hope that this little thing goes away when it plays.
We're going to not be able to see Smith here. Oh, he saved the 6 though.
Nah, his foot was touching the rope when he jumped. So it ended up being a 6.
Oh, yeah.
That hurt my head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He did. His head hit the ground. He's
He's seen those little stars. You know those stars you used to get?
Yep. That used to happen. I reckon you'd have way more concussions. Like if you played junior footy, you'd have way more concussions than you realise you got. I remember like when you'd get tackled on like the cricket pitches in the middle of those fields and your head would slam. And for a while there, you're like I remember many a time being like out of it.
Yeah, ringing.
Like not stumbling, like knocked out sort of shit, but just
no,
like...
I've never stumbled. And I've never been knocked out.
I've only stumbled once.
But I've had stars many times.
And someone told me that he's heard me mention him, but Josh Cohen, friend of the show, knocked me the fuck out. Thank you, Josh, if you are listening. Thanks for listening, but thank you more for knocking me out. Now, Eddie, I want to just whip through a couple of things here because there's a few issues that I just want to touch on quickly, but we also want to get the fuck out of here so we can watch. Oh, we got some time, actually.
We've got some dribbles,
but we got some dribbles to get to. Scotty James just cannot win an Olympic gold medal to save his goddamn life.
No, he can't, but he was out. The other guy's too good. Do you know that Japanese guy won skateboarding gold?
Oh, did he? What? Is that the same guy who won the gold in the skateboarding? That's the
same guy.
Get fucked.
Which I couldn't believe. I was like, is that true? That's the way it read in the article. Dave, please back me up. Isn't that fucking wild? But the guy that won street, I'm pretty sure.
Is the snowboard guy.
I'm pretty sure.
That's really?
Which seems ridiculous.
That does seem ridiculous. But I mean, you've got Shaun White who was doing X Games gold and fucking for half.
Well, maybe not the street guy, but I think, Dave?
Not... No, he competed as a skateboarder. He didn't win a medal, but he competed in Tokyo as a skateboarder.
But he needed so Scotty James was his third run. I was watching it. His third run, it was good, but he fucked out in the last. Ran out of puff. Then this guy needed to basically beat Scotty's 90 whatever, and the run he put down was just ridiculous.
96. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Humongous, going so large.
Massive. How old is Scotty James? He's probably got
28.
another games.
He does have another games in him.
Got one more game.
I reckon he's 28.
Well, he's moving up though. He
27.
27.
Yeah, perfect. 31 is sweet. But he's gone from...
He could have 2 more games, let's be honest. Shaun White's 35.
Yeah, but Shaun White, he won at 31. So it's been done before.
No, that's what I mean. I just more mean he might have 2 more games.
But he's gone from the bronze, goes to the silver. Gold's next.
Has he not had a couple of sillies?
No, bronze and silver.
Okay. That's all right. I mean, I just was really keen. But, like, it seems like when it's in between the Olympics, he wins everything. And then it comes to the Olympics and
I think that this Japanese guy was more favoured. He wasn't favourite.
Okay, he wasn't favourite?
No.
Okay.
Check out all these heaps of gold medals, Winter X Games, World Championships, Snowboard World Cups.
Who did?
So if you go
this is Scotty James.
Yeah.
But if you go up to like Aspen, World Championships, silver. So it had sort of been premeditated a little bit.
As in for this year?
Yeah.
2021.
That's 20... Oh, there, right. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Who got the gold at Aspen?
I believe it was the Japanese guy.
That run he put down was fucking ridiculous. David, could we take one step back and go find David Timmelson or whatever his name is, who got $1.5 million to the IPL? Who the fuck is he? How old is he? Like, I want to know, how old is he? Because I want to know, what our chances are of cracking the IPL.
He's 25.
Okay, he's a bit younger than me, unfortunately. 6'5".
Yeah, big boy. All-rounder.
Rod David, his father. Shout out to Rod. Former Singaporean cricketer.
There you go.
So his old man played for Singapore as well. Singapore not known for their cricket.
Moved back to Australia when he was 2.
Yeah, so he's Australian.
In the wake of the 1997 Asian financial crisis. What a crisis it was.
Yeah, but he's apparently fucking ripping and tearing in the Pakistan Super League.
So Tim Davidson?
Tim David.
Tim Davidson. David Timmelson.
Shout out to you, brah.
And then how much has he got? We get to like what he made, what he was, because his asking price was fucking.
Go to an article, Dave, in the news.
$1.53 million.
Can we find, and what's he on? Like, what do they get paid in the Big Bash? Like, has he just gone from fucking?
I think they get a couple of hundred.
Labuschagne was the first Australian to go under the hammer at night too. Went unsold. His base price 186,000. Finch couldn't even get in.
Unsold.
Coulter Nile.
Unsold. Smith, unsold.
Daniel Sams got sold.
Yeah, Daniel Sams of Daniel Sams.
You know what's interesting? We just won the 2020 T20 World Cup.
I think some were saying that it could be because we're going to Pakistan and we might miss games. But like, who in our fucking T20 side is going to be?
Well, Dave Warner's fucking playing though.
Yeah, I think they're, and Finch isn't fucking playing in Pakistan.
No.
Stan.
How can you win the World Cup and get like no one bought?
I mean, I think there's like, I don't think Zampa's put his name in. And
Why
same with
the fuck wouldn't Adam Zampa have put his, or is he under contract already?
He
might already be under contract.
But I know
they're different things. You don't not put your name in if you're under contract.
Yeah, I'll check.
No, if you're already under contract, you don't put your name in for an auction.
Unsold players from yesterday, such as Steve Smith, Adam Zampa, and Matthew Wade.
He just didn't want to go.
And I'm asking, does he know that, or does he?
I made that up because it says right
you
here
made
what
it
the
up.
truth
There you
is.
go. Unsold players.
trying to read it
Steve
as you
Smith,
were
Adam Zampa, Matthew Wade.
So he was unsold.
Oh, it
Zampa.
can still be picked up if a team asks them to
Also,
be re-entered into the pool.
How did
They've got
Zampa
new
not get sold?
They've got new franchises. Lucknow Super Giants, and Ahmedabad's Gujarat Titans.
How does an Adam Zampa of can't spin the ball fame not get picked up?
But loves a T20 wicket fame.
Because he underspins it so much that
People
he bamboozles everyone.
Well, the lack of spin is in itself spin.
Yes, it is.
It's spin in the mind.
Because you expect it to spin, it doesn't. So it's anti-spin.
It's anti-spin, pseudo-spin.
Pseudo-spin. Correct.
Reverse spin,
Yes.
which
As
means
it's known
it
these
doesn't
days.
spin at all. All right, cool. Shout out to... Wait, where's our boy? David fucking whatever.
So go down to Aussies still up for grabs.
Mark Stoinis, Maxwell were two players retained by their clubs. There you go. Aussie's still up for grabs.
Chris Lynn can't get a fucking run?
Yeah, but
Is he past it?
he's kind of past it.
Is he?
I don't think he scored a single 50
So
in the
Lynn's
Big
sanity
Bash
not
this
a
year.
thing anymore?
Insanity, not so.
Lynn's sanity seems cursed to like a season or two, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's now he's sane again.
Who's not picking up Billy Stanley and Jack Wildermuth?
I know, Eddie. It's a fucking disgrace.
That's
about Ben
outrageous. What about
Dwarshuis?
Matt Kelly? Who's not getting Matt Kelly for 57,000?
You telling me that Ben Dwarshuis isn't worth a measly 57K?
Tom, you tell me Aiden Carhill's not worth 38 grand.
What about Nathan McAndrew, Eddie? Or Liam Guthrie? Not to mention Liam Hatcher, for fuck's sake.
Or Jason Sanger of Loves a Sanger fame.
Yeah.
Mate, the Sanger brothers, Jason and Tan.
I was wondering whether they were
yeah,
brothers.
they are.
Or cousins. Or sisters.
They could be. All right, where's our boy? Keep going down, Dave. I want to find our new rich boy. Tim David. Sold for $1.53 million. That is fucking outrageous.
Good on you, buddy.
That is insane. Now, you want to talk about Linsanity?
Now,
That's Linsanity.
Tim David would have gone on one of the great rips and tears last night, surely.
Well, you'd hope so. He's in Pakistan, though, so I don't know whether you can.
Why not?
Well, I don't know what the fucking rules are over
Is he
there.
in Pakistan?
I thought he was playing in the Pakistani Super League.
Oh, yeah,
batting
yeah.
at fucking 200.
I'm sure there's some Western hotels over there where they let you to rip and tear.
You hope so
This
for
is
Tim's.
great. The
for
team
Tim's
he's
sake.
playing for is called the Malton Sultans.
I love that name. The Molten Sultans. Can we have a look at the Molten Sultans? Dude, I love the Molten Sultans.
The Molten Sultans.
They might be officially
Representing the city of Molten.
They are. Eddie,
Is a sultan a king?
well, it's a king of sorts. Yeah, the Sultan of Brunei. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's like they don't call it a king; they call it a sultan.
You know what I'm fucking saying.
That's what I'm telling you.
Like an emperor.
But a sultan,
Pretty
Same
much,
thing.
yeah.
not a molten sultan though.
Well, a molten sultan's a different kettle of fish altogether. If
They
you're
are.
a molten sultan, then you're a sultan from Molten.
Yes, that we do know.
That we do know.
Can we confirm that they are our official Pakistan Super League team?
I've confirmed it.
The Molten Sultans.
Yeah. They came in 2018. Captain by Shoaib Malik.
Yep.
Wasim Akram, he was appointed head coach.
Love
Okay.
that. Was he?
Was he a cream? Molten Sultans.
Molten Sultans, good. All right.
Sponsored by Pepsi. Not bad.
Perfect.
It's okay. I'm not a huge Pepsi fan. I've changed. I think we maybe move on to dribbles. I don't know if there's anything else in the sort of...
All-Stars game.
Oh, the All-Star game. I knew there was something else. Those dances.
The war cries at the start were so sick.
So good,
I
dude.
reckon they were the best I've ever seen.
Yep. They were good. They were very good. And I loved how after... This is... I don't know. You know how I'm now like Mr. Emotional? I'll cry at the drop of a hat. Yes. I got emotional during those fucking dances.
I was the same.
When after the Maori one, when they all went and fucking... I don't know what it's called, so I'm not trying to be culturally insensitive, but when they sort of like put their face up against the other... Like they did...
It was beautiful.
Against the Indigenous guys' faces, I was like...
It was beautiful.
This is getting me emotional.
It was lovely.
I was like... Any more emotion and I could have started crying, which is, you know, again, just where I'm at. But it was fantastic.
It was unbelievable.
And how the Indigenous boys had the white paint on their faces.
Mate, it was the best Indigenous war cry I've seen.
Yeah.
I think, comfortably.
Yeah.
It was so sick.
It was
And
cool.
it went for a bit longer.
Yeah.
So you could really get into
into it.
work.
Yeah.
Well, they could get into their work and we could get into our work watching them get into their work.
Correct.
It was sick to watch. It's a real... I think it's sort of cemented now. At least I hope it is.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be. Shout out to Brad Parker, fastest tongue in world sport. Not Brad Parker, Morgan Harper, sorry.
Mate.
That tongue
did a bit. Did plenty.
Oh, mate, that thing was like, you couldn't even see it.
One of the great pickups. Lucky they slowed it down for the part of the dribbler.
I know.
Lucky that was in super slow-mo.
Dude, that was like a bee's wings. That thing makes a noise that goes
It's like
so
a
quick.
hummingbird. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing fucking...
Unbelievable. But it was good to see footy back.
It was great to see the footy back. It was great. The game was good. Good to see the footy back. I'm horny for rugby league again.
I'm horny.
You, me, Michael, and Sebo started talking shit to each other in the About Even chat group, just a bit of rugby league back and forth, and I was like, oh, I've missed this.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I've missed this. I'm looking forward to it. About Even coming back soon. But it's good to get back into a bit of a fucking dribble.
Oh, fuck yeah. Very good to be a
Couple of trials. How about the Broncos? And this is, I'm looking at you, Denningham. Fucking the Broncos beat the like Seagulls 50-6, and it's like, oh, the Broncos looking fucking great in trials.
Broncos are back!
Oh God, it screamed of a Tigers standing at half and full time in a trial match.
Well, I mean, look.
At least the Tigers did it against a Manly Seagulls. The Broncos are fucking doing it against the Seagulls.
Listen, what happens to sides when they become shit is they become institutionalized to shitness. So winning trial games against the Seagulls is like basically winning the comp.
Yeah.
And you can see, even people like Denon Camp, who are supposed to know a bit, get wrapped up in it. Because he's like, oh, fuck, we get the spoon, we come 14th, we stink. And then you get a trial win against a Seagulls side who, are they even in the fucking Queensland Cup?
They're
God
a feeder
knows.
side.
They're a feeder side. Who knows? Who cares? But that's what happens to you.
Yeah.
You fall apart at the seams. You start celebrating trial wins against nobody.
Against nobodies. So well done to the Broncos, though. It seems like they won their grand final on the weekend.
Well, you pack it up. Why play the season? You've won your grand final.
The preseason premiers.
You've won your grand final.
Yeah.
Why even play? Why even turn up? You've done it. Adam Reynolds can tell people he's won another comp.
Yep.
And off you go.
Standing O's.
Standing O's. Standing O's.
Should we dribble?
Let's do it.
Yeah, TE, double D, step one under dribbler here. Just listening to your yarn earlier about the Tyler. Is there a Tyler called Tyler? Well, I'll throw this one at you. Wrap your ears around this one. I am a landscape gardener, and the surname, you better believe it's Gardner, baby. And, it's, I get a few jokes here and there. Come do my garden. But, it's great stuff. But, yeah, it sucks sometimes, My dad was in the fire brigade. Brother-in-law's a fucking tactical ops cop. My cousin, she just plays fucking cricket for Australia. And, I'm a gardener. Like my fucking surname, like a loser. So, but anyway, I hope you're all well. And see you soon.
Nothing wrong with being a gardener, bro.
No, fuck no. There's nothing wrong with being a gardener. Shout out to our gardeners out there.
Mate, it's one of the, I would assume, it's probably the oldest profession in the world. So they try to say prostitution is, but we've been tending the land before we were selling our
fangs.
selling our orifices for cash.
Yeah.
Gardening, the oldest
known profession.
That's
That's right. A gardener named Gardner. I like it.
I like it a lot. I didn't get his first name.
The only difference I would say, shout out to that gardener, is that people generally use your first name. So, like, if you're a Tyler named Tyler, it carries just a little bit more, I think, than the last name Gardner.
Yeah.
Unless you get Gardner all the time.
Yes.
In which case it makes...
I tell you what probably works better is, I mean, if you can't, because Gardner not a first name, we know that.
Well, we don't know that because NFL quarterback who plays right now for the Eagles, Gardner Minshew.
We stand.
Corrected. Gardner Minshew. Okay, there you go. So, bro, get your name changed. Get your first name to Gardner and then come talk to us.
Do you reckon there's anyone out there named Gardner?
There we go. That's the next one. Gardner. Who is a gardener? Narrowly Meadows over at the NFL.
No,
Good
as
for
in
you.
like his name is Gardner.
Oh, as in first and last name is Gardner?
Yeah.
You'd fucking hope not. His parents should be locked up if that is the case. Locked up. Let's move on.
Hey guys, it's Sunshine Coach Dribbler here. Just a quick question. Who's more important to Australia, the Australian Open ball boys and ball girls, or the blokes who cover up the pitch during the Ashes? Fuck fruitcake, carrot cake forever, Tom's shitty immune system ever.
Well, I'd ask you this, mate.
This might be the dumbest question.
I'd ask you this. What's more important, the Ashes or
The Australian Open.
anything?
Or anything. The ball kids or the greenskeepers?
The Ashes is the most important thing known to any Australian. So,
Also, like, if the ball kids weren't there, the tennis players just have to get their own balls. Big fucking deal. If those guys, the groundsmen, aren't there looking after the pitch, we don't play cricket. So, get it together, brah. Appreciate the question, but get it together.
I played a lot of tennis in my life.
Same.
Probably not shitloads, but I played a lot. Never had a ball boy.
Never had a ball boy either. How about those? Do you remember when you'd have tennis lessons? They'd have those PVC pipes and you just go on like dunk, 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 dunk. Great. That's an ingenious way to collect balls. While we're on the topic of ingenious shit, I've only just come across in my life as a young father. Don't know if anyone knows. I've got 2 kids. Hair clips are one of the most ingenious inventions that I've ever seen. I didn't know how to put one, use one. Evie's got long hair. I don't know how to fucking use it. And I was like, this is a fucking nightmare. Now that I know...
What do you mean you didn't know how to use a hair clip?
I bet you don't.
A hair clip? Yes, I do.
Do you know what a hair clip is?
Yes.
What is it?
Those plastic things, then you push them in.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about?
I am blown away by the simplicity and the effectiveness of those.
Okay.
Aren't you? Think about just the way someone's got to come up with this weird little fucking thing and it works perfectly.
Do bobby pins get you going as well?
Nah, see, I've never really used a bobby pin and apparently they're not as good from what I'm hearing around the mothers groups.
Can you braid yet?
Fuck no, dude. I can just get it into a ponytail or like a, pineapple on top of the head. But like...
I can plait. I can't braid.
Plaiting's relatively straightforward, but it's more just about successfully separating the hair. That's probably where I struggle.
You need 3 and then do. I can plait.
I could plait.
I can put the plaits in. Don't worry about that.
I'm sure you could, and I'm sure I could. But
I don't know about you.
No, I can plait. Don't worry about that.
You didn't know what a fucking hair clip was.
I knew what a hair clip was, but to see them in action is to really know what genius is. It's simple, but again, that thing can't be improved on. It's an idea. It's always going to work. It's always going to be good. There isn't anything better than what that is. There's no improvement to that thing.
I'm with you on that, Tom, in that I've never used one for the purposes of parting hair, but at my school, they were commonplace to keep people's little kippahs, little Jewish hats on their head.
Right.
So it's like attaching something. But I've never used it to make hair look different.
But you would use it to keep your kipper on your head.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't want it to stay on my head, but
I get
yeah,
well,
yeah.
but it would work, right?
yeah, attaches two things
Yes.
together.
This
yeah.
with Evie, you just push it along the side and just doosh, and the hair is out of the face. It is wild, punters dribbles. Anyway, that ends the hair clip conversation of the podcast. Shout out to tennis. Shout out to that dribbler, but really shout out to the groundsman, I think, Eddie. Is that fair to say?
And the hair clip.
And the hair clip, number one.
G'day, boys. Moderate time listener, consistent listener, first time dribbler. A bit of a question here / potential nostalgic moment. So my older brother of disgustingly huge Manly fan fame would probably be at Brookie over a family member's wedding fame. Now, not sure if you boys remember, but being Manly boys, one would assume you would. My brother back in the day actually brought a brick at the front of Brookie Oval, which cost him $500 for the donation drive to keep Brookie alive when he was young as fuck. Don't actually think he had a full-time job either, so that took a while to save up for. This is his prized possession, and rumour has it that he does go here regularly and do some type of Etch Manly prayer. Probably cleans the brick as well. Bit of a sicko. Question, did you guys buy a brick? Do you know others who bought a brick? And does this in general make you a bit toey for the footy season to see dribblers in full swing? Anyway, boys, love the potty, love the punter, love the dribbler. Beer soon. Money's premiership soon. Modern day rom-coms ever. Thanks, boys.
I didn't buy a brick, Tom, did you?
I also did not buy a brick, but shout out to that guy for buying
I'd
a
buy
brick.
one now.
I'd buy the fuck out of a brick now.
Know that.
Know that we would buy a brick if they were going.
They're going now, we're buying them. If they're going now.
I was in the church I was at on the weekend was in Manly, and it was nice to get back to sort of my spiritual homeland.
Mm.
Have you seen the movie Dune?
Not yet.
I know this sounds weird. It's a good movie, if not for the ending.
It sounds weird that you pronounced it like that, though.
Dune?
Yeah.
How the fuck?
June.
Dune.
I know.
I get it.
It's the, yeah.
I get it. Like, if I'm saying...
Would you say I'm hopping in a dune buggy?
Yeah.
You would.
But then I wouldn't, but I might say dune buggy. And I'd call it a sand dune, not a sand dune.
Mm.
But when we go to the dunes and just camp as friends...
You don't go to the dunes, though. You go to the dunes.
No, but we would call it the dunes. Like, let's go to the dunes and have a rip and
as like
tear.
a joke.
Well, that's just how we'd call it. Yeah, let's go to the dunes, not the dunes. Anyway, good movie, whatever. Basically, Timothy Chalamet, who I'm now a huge fan of, and the movie is sick, by the way, if not for the ending, but sick. He is like, he doesn't realize that he's part of this other culture. And then when he gets and steps foot on this other planet for the first time, it's like, whoa, like, holy fuck, I'm like this spiritual connection. I'm like, that's what it's like every time I get back to Manly. I'm like, you know, this is where I need to be. And so being back there on the weekend, I was like, just feeling the ground and like, fuck yeah, this is, footy season's coming back. I was so horny for rugby league. Just being in Manly made me horny for rugby league.
Good for you.
Well, the man was asking about being toey for rugby league, and I'm like, bro, I got back into Manly.
And I'm saying good for you.
Right. You know when you say good for you, though, it's usually like that's where we stop talking. Or like when someone's like, oh, yeah, good for you, bro. You're like, oh, okay, that seems a little bit rude. I was just telling you how.
I'm excited that you're horny.
I was telling...
I'm excited by that.
You know, like I'm opening up about my experience about Dune, about Timothy Chalamet. And to just say good for you, to me, doesn't foster any conversation. This is where...
you've had your moment.
So now you start... Mate,
do you know what I mean?
It's
like
not
we're
about
in the we're in the dribbles. We're not going to go on for fucking 30 minutes about you being grounded. We could.
no, but it's not about that, Eddie.
What's it about? I'm saying good for you, buddy. I'm proud of you.
It's about... This is, whatever the time is, this is where Eddie at the podcast will just start like wrapping absolutely everything up because he's like, I'm over it. This is over
I'm
it,
actually
Eddie.
not over it
This is
today.
over it, Eddie. This is Monday. I really like Dune. Some would say June.
Most would say June.
Some would also say June.
I think
Eddie doesn't care for
95% of people would say June.
Well, Australians.
I don't know.
In America, it's all Dune.
Yeah.
I will say this about the American. They have at least phonetically got it correct, I would say.
Because of the spelling, you mean like just D-U-N?
Well, it's a D, is it not?
Yes.
It's a D. I at least think trying to be a D. June is a month.
It's also my birth month. But Sandoon doesn't sound right.
Sounds stupid.
Sounds stupid.
But you know what I'm saying.
But I'm with you. There you go. Good for you, Ed.
See, I didn't take offense to that.
No, that was facetiousness.
But I was happy with that.
Nah, but I think you knew what that was about. That was me salty that you didn't want to talk about Dune and coming back with that same energy.
I was actually in Newport on the weekend. Shout out to Newport. Great part of the world. Just wanted to get that out
Good
there.
for you, bro.
See?
How was it?
It's good.
Yeah, did you do anything special?
Walked around, took the pooch for a fucking stroll, got breakfast.
Great.
At the
Next dribble, Dave.
There you go.
Next dribble. Thank you. Let's go.
Fellas, it's sitting around the campfire in the rain, Dribbler here.
Sure. Good for you.
Just a simple one. Who do you think would win the fight? Tom and Eddie, you guys, versus two Denon Kemps. Love to hear your thoughts. I think Denon might ground pound you, but he's also a bit of a beta, so you guys might have that. Let me know your thoughts. Beer soon. Then fucking cream hats forever. Give me a P&D's hat. Give me a baggy green. Love you. Bye.
We won't be doing either of the last two requests.
No.
But thanks for trying.
Yeah.
How would Tom and I go against
Two
Denons?
We'd get the shit kicked out of us, I think.
Look,
comfortably.
I don't think that I'm breaking new ground here by saying that
Kempy would have us.
He would beat the shit out of at least me. I'd offer nothing.
I think one Kempy would be a fucking handful for both of us.
Depends. Like, can I weaponize?
Well, I don't know. Actually, that's a good point. Like, are we able to just use?
Can I? Like, how dirty can I fight?
Yeah.
Is he going to come in trying to like?
Can you bite him on the cock?
Is he thinking this is a gentleman's agreement and he comes in looking to get the hooks in, but he doesn't realise that I've got a bat?
Yeah, I think what would have to happen is like one has to like go low and just wrap up his legs and just hold onto his feet.
I could try and play a role.
Like
there.
if we were just to try get him down and you just hold onto his feet.
Like I just knee him up. Again, there's two of them.
Yeah, you got two of them.
Oh, we're fucked with two of them. What about you and me just against Kempy? I think that's how we have to look at this because two we're done.
I think maybe we'd be a sniff.
I think we're a sniff with us, but it's like again tactically you wrap up his ankles.
I'd go low,
and just hold.
Yep.
And then I can sort of stand up and ground and pound,
and then
kick him,
and then maybe I can slide up and
start biting onto his Johnson, or even just start with the thighs. Get a bit flirty with it,
mate. If I take the knob off, it's all over.
I don't think you want to remove a man's knob,
but it depends if we're fighting to the death.
Well, no, if you have to, you will. But I know that
depends what we're fighting for.
Yeah,
this is points. I'm not going to do that.
No,
this is to the death.
If this is life,
then his Johnson's going.
Yeah, sayonara.
Sayonara Johnson. Don't know what that means.
That was like a Mexican twist on a Japanese word.
There was flair. There was flair on a Japanese word. Flair, I'd call it.
Yeah, no, it was flair.
Yeah. Know that.
Let's move on.
Deal, Dave. Got to dribble that deaf cricket, mate. So played soccer with a dude called Reece Alton, 6'4", 100 kilos, super athletic brother. And basically, hey, in one ear he could hear, and the other ear he was fully deaf. And in the winter he played soccer, and in the summer he played cricket. And he actually represented Australia in deaf cricket. And we said, "Oh, Reece, pal, what's the difference between you know how blind soccer they have the bell on the ball sort of stuff? Sometimes they modify games." And we go, "Reece, what's the difference between deaf cricket and normal cricket?" And he looks us in the eyes and he goes, "Oh, well, deaf cricket's normally the same, but just no one can hear, so we appeal every ball." It's like, all right, here I am, the deaf cricket dribbler. Huge hogs, never. Thick ropes forever.
Sure.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It does make sense.
It does make sense. That'd be tough for the umpire, who I assume can hear.
Well, you'd assume so. You'd assume so.
You'd assume so. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to take that one as a comment.
Well, as a joke.
As a joke. Well, it might be true, though.
I tried to research a bit about deaf cricket.
Be true.
It did seem like the rules were like all but the same.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
they don't
right?
really
It's
have
the
it,
same
yeah.
fucking thing.
Well, I'm sure it's the same.
Yeah.
Just can't hear the nick. You'd assume.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow looking.
Yeah, looking like an alpha.
Yeah. Looks like it's business time to me.
G'day, boys. The dribbler here, formerly known as the Ambo dribbler.
Was it? Only one without a helmet on. Genius. Just branding. Like, why the fuck would you have your helmet on? No one can see your face.
I don't know, team unity.
But, well, yeah, maybe. But, like, as a quarterback, only one without a helmet
Well,
on.
there's
Another guy
there's
down the
another
back
one,
there.
yeah.
But, like, not really. I wouldn't
He's
have
probably
my
the
helmet
Look
kicker
how
down
big
the
the
back.
team is. Do you reckon they know everyone's name?
on. Yeah, dude. I'm sure they do. There'd be one...
Definitely.
But especially when everyone's got a helmet on, how are you going to go up to some random bloke and say, oh, it's Josh? Like,
No, I mean, like, your fucking
Do you reckon-
teammates.
but like
though.
even the guys on the special teams who do nothing.
Look at Joe. This is branding 101. Bengals walking out on the ground. Only
He
one without
likes
a
he
helmet
likes
on.
having a little bit of like a lick of hair, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah. He is as, like, good old American boy.
Sure.
set your watch to
You know
his
what I
haircut
mean?
type thing.
Yeah.
Is he from Louisiana? He played at LSU.
I don't know. Short back and sides. Captain America.
Yeah. Southern boy.
I don't even know if he's Southern or not. I just get that vibe.
I
I'm
think
on
he
Team Bengals as well. Fuck LA.
Well, they've never won, so
He
I'm
was
definitely on them.
born in Iowa.
Don't know if that's middle or,
No
or
idea.
south or wherever the fuck.
No
that
idea.
is.
What's the time?
10, 12.
How many more dribbles we got, Dior?
Probably 5-ish.
All right, let's go. Let's power through 'em.
Yep.
G'day, boys. The dribbler here, formerly known as the Ambo dribbler, because I've now quit my job because fuck that industry.
Okay.
Now known as the physio dribbler because I'm a physio student.
Sure.
Good for you, bro.
Just started on the potties for the new year. I'm up to now where you played me last dribble. You boys were very interested to see my dreads. As I said, happy to show. Will show. Just let me know how I can do that. Just to clarify some things here, I'm going to say this. I am part African, therefore my hair is very coarse, very thick, and extremely wavy. Wavy to the point of they tangle within each other constantly. There is nothing I can do to avoid dreads aside from keep a fucking brush or comb handy all the time, and every spare second I get combing the fucker out. Far too much pain to go through, so I just let it fucking do whatever it wants.
I get
And
that.
also
Nice.
had dreads before I took your advice.
Okay.
They were decently lengthy then, and they, as you put it, they have gotten into their work. They're doing their thing and they're growing proudly. I intend to keep it for a very long time. I hope that answers your question. Let me know how I can send you boys a photo. Peace out, motherfuckers.
Peace out, bro. That
Peace
has
out.
cleared things up.
That has, because he's obviously got hair that is prone to dread. Like
Yes.
mine just probably will not dread unless I went and got it like dreaded. You know what I mean? My hair ain't the dreading
You don't
type.
have
Yours
dread-
possibly
I've
could.
got dread hair. Yeah.
Your hair could go dread because you got a bit more of that coarse hair as well.
I've got coarse steel wool hair. It's thick as fuck. It won't quit.
But this gentleman seemed to already have some dreads.
But
rocking as well.
and as he sort of pointed out, unless he brushes it 24/7, it will dread up. So it seems inevitable for him. 'Cause
Yeah.
no one wants to put himself through that.
No.
But thanks for getting in touch, bro.
Yeah.
Because I was concerned initially.
You can just DM us a photo of your dreads. That's fine.
That's fine. That'll work.
That'll do.
That'll do nicely.
Let's move on.
G'day, boys. The Red Baron dribbler here, big listener. Just wanted to know your opinion on the Beijing Olympic Games. The two-man luge. In your opinion, is that a big day? because I'm watching it right now, and I can tell you it's seems like an extremely big day to me. Anyway, beers soon. See you later.
There's a lot of weird events at the Olympics, let's be real.
Have you seen photos or videos of the two-man luge?
I'll need to see a photo. I'll need to see a photo of the two-man luge.
Like, I'm assuming they top and tail each other. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
Right. Like, how,
Yeah.
hey, Dad and Mum, look at the sport I'm getting into.
I think we can all acknowledge, though, surely, that the Winter Olympics is pretty fucking weird.
It is weird. Can we use that as the podcast photo for today?
Yeah, that we're doing that. I don't know how it's a thing, the Winter Olympics.
There's just not enough that's like really value, you know what I mean?
It's like,
There's not enough valuable
how many
events.
The events are so fucking weird. I'm like, how many people literally do this on the weekend? How often do people do this?
Why are you dedicating your life? No disrespect, but why are you spending time doing the two-man luge? Like, what the fuck is that?
Surely it's niche, even in Norway.
What do you mean, surely it's niche, Eddie? It is niche.
But maybe not.
What do you mean, maybe not? We know it is because I've never fucking seen two dudes laying on top of each other like that going down an ice.
I'm saying in Norway is two-man luge like all the rage.
It might not be niche in Norway, but like...
It's just always seems strange to me that two continents, basically, in South America and Africa and Australia, call it three continents, basically just like excluded. Like, I know we participate, but it's for Europe and North America, let's be honest.
It's a stupid fucking... I'm sorry, Winter Olympics
It's for two continents, let's be honest.
If you're a snowboarder or skiing shit, like those, the Red Bull events, the X Games, and that's where you guys should be doing
That's
your damn
enough,
thing. That's
surely.
enough.
Surely that's enough.
But it's also better. It's built around that sort of stuff, and you've got other weird things in there.
Look, I mean, that may offend some people, but if you're being fucking honest with yourselves, the Winter Olympics is weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's weird. Eddie, I think David, should we wrap it up there, or should we get through these final ones?
We can do one more.
Okay.
I think this one's a good one. I don't know. Let's hope so.
You've heard the anthem before, mate.
Wanted to bet on it.
John, Eddie, King of the East, your Dave. Just wanted to point out that Jarch from TikTok, also no chin tone, wouldn't be able to fold a towel. Having no chin, you grab each side of the towel, you use your chin to clamp the middle, and you fold it. So there goes his fucking housekeeping for you, right there. Anyway, Winners Premiership soon. See you soon, boys. Enjoy.
That's a great point.
It's a great point he makes, and funnily enough, I don't think I've ever seen a folded towel in Jarch's possession.
No, he's got hooks everywhere.
He does. He's a hook guy.
He's a hook guy. Has to be, because he's got no chin.
Has to be. That's another podcast in the books.
Yep.
Shout out to the punter, shout out to the dribbler. See you on Thursday.
Bye.
Could you two just not talk anymore?